Swoop Shoppers. My name is Lee.
And I'm Eduardo. We're dietetic students here at EMU.
Today we will be talking to you about why you should be eating more greens on a daily basis and how to incorporate greens into your daily meals.
We're not talking about steamed spinach here. We have some great recipes for you coming up.
Today we are making fried rice and pesto using kale.
There's some key nutrients in these recipes that we're going to focus on today, and that's vitamin K and vitamin C.
Vitamin K is an essential vitamin required for protein modification and blood clotting.
Kale is actually the #1 source of vitamin K, and you can get so much of it in 1 cup of cooked kale. There's actually 544 micrograms. Basically, that means about 450% of what you should be getting per day in 1 cup of cooked kale. And there is 600% of what you should be getting in 1 day in 1 cup of raw kale.
The required amount of vegetables per day is actually 2 to 3 cups, according to the CDC.
According to the USDA, any vegetable or 100% vegetable juice counts as a member of the vegetable family. Vegetables can be raw, cooked, fresh, frozen, canned, dried or dehydrated, they all count, and they can be whole, cut up, or mashed. 1 cup of raw or cooked vegetables or vegetable juice, or 2 cups of raw leafy greens can be considered 1 cup of the vegetable group.
It is simple to incorporate greens into your meals without really tasting it. Just clean, dice, and add it to your smoothies, pasta dishes, or stir fries, salad.
Benefits of eating raw vegetables include getting more of those nutrients. Since when you steam or blanch green vegetables, you could lose some of the water-soluble vitamins, which are the B vitamins and vitamin C.
But greens are so rich in nutrients that even if you cook them, you will still get more nutrients than if you were not eating greens at all.
Today we want to highlight kale. It's one of my favorite leafy greens. It's actually one of the most common, and curly kale is the most common form of kale. Kale is also really packed full of nutrients. It has vitamins A, K, vitamin B6, C, calcium, potassium, copper, manganese. It's really packed full of nutrients, which makes it really great.
1 cup of raw kale has just 33 calories and only 7 grams of carbs. I'm ecstatic about that. You can get a lot of greens for very little calories.
A lot of bang for your buck, basically.
Yes.
Kale is actually a member of the cruciferous vegetable family, along with cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, broccoli, collard greens, kohlrabi, rutabaga, turnips, and bok choy.
These vegetables offer health benefits, including potentially reducing the risk of various types of cancer.
Kale holds its texture really well when you're cooking it, and it can be steamed, stir-fried, roasted, or eaten raw. You could really incorporate this into several ways. You can make it into smoothies, kale chips, wilt it into soup, mash it with potatoes, or you could even make a pesto.
Always remember to just remove the middle rib, as it tends to be overly tough and fibrous and imparts a bitter taste when eaten.
That's a good tip. Kale holds for up to 5 days if it's loosely wrapped in the refrigerator. If it's kept longer than that, the leaves tend to toughen.
I found that another way to tell if it's gone bad is if it kind of turns yellow towards the edges. So you might want to just toss that part out.
A good tip.
Thank you.
So we also want to share a little information about antioxidants. I mean, that's a big buzzword in the nutrition field. What exactly does that mean? Well, we're going to cover that today. No surprise, leafy greens are actually pretty high in antioxidants, and kale has a couple of those antioxidants like beta-carotene and vitamin C.
Antioxidants are substances that help counteract oxidative damage by free radicals in the body.
Free radicals are actually highly reactive substances that can cause damage to cell membranes, cell proteins, and cause mutations in our DNA.
Oxidative damage is believed to be among the leading drivers of aging and many diseases, including cancer, heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, and cataracts.
Antioxidants also have powerful heart protective, blood pressure lowering, anti-inflammatory, antiviral, antidepressant, and anti-cancer effects, just to name a few. Little known fact, vitamins are actually essential in the diet, which means that our body doesn't produce them. We actually have to consume vitamins in order for them to do what they need to do in our body.
So on to vitamin C, that's another key nutrient in leafy green vegetables. Vitamin C is actually a water-soluble vitamin.
Any excess gets excreted in the urine. It's also known as ascorbic acid. And while most animals can synthesize vitamin C, humans, primates, fish, and guinea pigs, of all things, cannot produce vitamin C.
So vitamin C is involved in producing collagen, which is the most abundant tissue in the body. So collagen supports skin health, joints, wound healing, bone remodeling, neurotransmitters like serotonin, and norepinephrine. It's also involved in metabolic pathways, and it enhances the absorption of iron.
No surprise here, vitamin C also enhances immune function during colds. Although I think it's a little more hyped up than it's supposed to be, it does cause a slight decrease in the severity of symptoms. So maybe your nose is a little less stuffy, or you can breathe a little bit easier by taking vitamin C. Vitamin C also has protective effects in cancer, cardiovascular disease, and eye diseases like cataracts.
Vitamin C deficiency leads to scurvy, which you really don't want. It causes bleeding gums, loose teeth, and weakness. The recommended daily allowance is attainable for both men and women. For men, it's set to 90 milligrams a day, and women are required 75 milligrams a day. There is an increased need for pregnant women and women who are lactating, as well as for smokers.
Lastly, some dietary sources of vitamin C include citrus fruits, red peppers, papaya has a lot of vitamin C, dark green vegetables like the ones we're highlighting today, Brussels sprouts, tomatoes, and potatoes.
That is a really wide variety of fruits and vegetables that you can incorporate on a daily basis.
Yeah, there's a really big variety there. I didn't even know that tomatoes or potatoes had vitamin C. We hope you learned a thing or two about dark greens and why you should incorporate them in your diet.
Thank you, Swoop Shoppers, for joining us today. We'll see you next time. 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C per day.
That's the UL. That's the upper limit. Stop where it says weakness because I want to say something about pirates.
Pirates? Wait, what am I saying?
I think I like the other take better. We'll probably end up using the other one.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. The nerve. Let me just make sure we're still recording.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah, we got messed up, but it's fine. You see?
I'm sorry, I'm just my bad.
I'm
You know,
just gonna tell.
it takes me a little bit. We'll cut that. Okay.
Okay, so wait, what was I gonna say? Make sure it's still on.
Yep. Yeah,
We're so good.
we're naturals. We got this.
That gets me. All right.
But
What is RD stand for?
recommended daily allowance. You ready for the RD exam?
No.
That's a wrap.